It's time for day 114 of Random Towers Chimps, so let's spin the wheel and see what combo we're forced to play with. Infernal is going to be the map, which I'm never really excited for, but this one ended up actually coming out pretty well. Our hero is going to be Quincy, which is always interesting. Quincy is a really fun hero to play with, in my opinion. You can't really expand much off of it, but it's pretty cool just to have around. Our next tower is Mortar Middle Path, which is the Pop and Awe, which is a interesting tower, but I don't really like playing with it a lot because of the micro. And then lastly, we get Engineer Bottom Path. So the XXL trap, and this is where things get crazy because I have a really fun idea. I'm just going to be going for Quincy and then an artillery battery and just going straight into XXL trap and trying to get as much cash spare as possible, which is going to be really fun and ended up working out really well. So this was a great random combo that I probably would have never even tried out if it wasn't for the wheel. That's just the fun thing about the wheel that I really like, and let's just go right into it. So starting off, Quincy can start out and then I just get like a dart sniper. I think there's a little bit of a more efficient way to do it that will like cut out that dart monkey, but whatever. I'll just be able to get into the engineer, and this engineer will be able to deal with the early game very well. There's just a few other towers that I'll have to get like the first strike later to be able to beat round 100 and all, but this should be able to move into all the upgrades pretty easily with mortar coming up soon, and I'll be getting that artillery battery very shortly. In order to beat the mid game and save up all the way to XXXL trap, I'm just going to be doing micro on this mortar, and then with the foam to get the camos, I'll be able to take everything out. Just an alk buff on the mortar, a 301 alk buff, because although it looks like this tower is shooting out really fast, it doesn't actually shoot that fast, particularly compared to other towers that you would notice. So the 301 alk buff has pretty much like full uptime, which is kind of crazy. Not something that I actually expected, but I'm like, I wonder if this will work out like this, and it ended up going really well. So I'm gonna have that, and I'm just gonna micro it around. I'm not gonna get drums because I feel like it isn't necessarily really worth it, and I should be able to get the save up without it. Just a little bit of micro will be able to do the trick, and it's nothing crazy. I'm just like moving it here and there in front of the targets. Nothing really too hard. I'm just being able to beat all these rounds pretty easily, and then if something's a little bit trickier, I just have either the ability on the mortar or the Quincy ability to use, and because I started saving up so early, I should be able to get the XXL trap. That's a mouthful to say every time. I'll just say the big trap instead. I should be able to get the big trap up before round 80. It is quite an expensive upgrade, but with saving up early, I'll be able to get it just fine. And then from there, I'll be able to chomp up everything with the big trap, which will be a lot of fun. So I got the big trap and I outbuffed it to give it the attack speed. I was going to try to get drums on it, but unfortunately I couldn't fit it. I feel like you definitely can fit the village with a medium-sized tower on that platform, but for some reason it just wasn't clicking in, which was a little bit unfortunate, but that's okay. I got Alk buff, which will give it the extra range and the attack speed that it needs to be able to get full uptime, so that's pretty good. And then I also got the first strike. Now there's one unfortunate thing, and you can no longer do the thing where it just spams the trap when it gets full attack speed. Apparently, I didn't even know it was a bug, but apparently that was a bug and you can't do that anymore. So yeah, this was really what I was hoping I could get away with without having to spend anything else. But round 95 came and I was just running a bit short on damage, so I ended up putting an AMD Alk on Quincy, and that got me just the littlest amount of damage needed to be able to take it out, and along with a lot of RNG too. The AMD uptime with just 2 of them is very short on Quincy. It's obviously not enough to MIB skip, but with a bunch of luck it can work. And now it's time to move on to round 96, which wasn't an issue. And then 97, of course, is also going to be free with the big trap. It's just able to gobble up each of the ZOMGs. And then round 98 was where things kind of fell apart. I tried a long time to beat it without having to spend anything, but it just ended up not working. So I bought 2 things. The cheapest solution that I found was with a Moab Glue with Splatter and then a balloon impact in the back. And this allowed me to be able to clean up with Quincy a bunch of random leaking fortified Moabs. So I was able to take that all down, and then I was able to later move Big Trap over to the other side to clean that all up. And then for round 99, this round took me a long time, and I needed to get just the perfect timing so I could have the trap eat up as many Moabs as possible, but then also move to the back to get every single DDT, which took a little bit of work, but I ended up getting there. And then finally, round 100 was pretty easy, which was a nice thing to see. I just needed to use the first strike twice in this round, so once at the start and then once at the end, and then I can beat both of the ZOMGs and win with 71.5 thousand spare. Definitely a very cool wheel challenge. Thanks for watching. If you want to help out the channel, you can check out these new videos, like and subscribe for more content, support the channel by becoming a member, and joining the Discord to chat with the community. Bye!